cancer. We all know it, we all hate it, we all dread it. And yet it's something that people sometimes have to live with. Whether it be you getting the cancer or somebody you love. And then there are the absolute bastards that have the audacity to fake cancer. Now, I myself am not a cancer survivor. I've never had cancer, and I don't believe I do it right now. But there's just some people that fake it, whether it be for fame, whether it be for money, whether it be for whatever. No matter what reason you're doing it for, it is a crime, as it should be, and a horrible one at that. People sometimes use cancer to scam people out of money on stuff like GoFundMe. I don't know the names to any other of those funding sites, but they use cancer on all sorts of places to be like, hey, feel bad for me and give me money, and then you find out they don't actually have cancer. Luckily, some of those people get arrested. I wish all of them would, but I will settle for some of them. Now, my grandfather and one of my cousins have had cancer before. And let me tell you, that shit is no joke. My cousin, he went bald. He was so energetic, and he was so energetic before, and then all of a sudden, he loves basketball. He loves playing basketball. He couldn't do that because the cancer was weakening him. Now, luckily, he did have a plan to fall back on while he was going through chemo and all that. He did fall back on acting, which he's really amazing at too. He could have a real acting career, but he eventually did beat the cancer into the ground. Now, this is all stuff that happened years ago, long ago. But luckily, he took cancer and punched it into the ground. He is now cancer-free. Hair growing back, everything's going well. And my grandpa, he too beat cancer. Now, he did die shortly after, but that's for another reason that I'll get on later. Now, these people that fake cancer kind of take the opportunity from other people to reveal that they do actually have cancer. They might be afraid of fraud cases and stuff like that. They might think nobody's gonna believe them and ridicule them for lying, even though they really do have this illness. I would never wish cancer on anybody, not even to those who fake it, who fake having cancer. I would not wish that on anyone to go through cancer, whether it be on them or family members. But I do hope that the people that fake cancer for whatever reason burn in hell. They do not deserve happiness on this earth, they do not deserve any happiness in this life or in the afterlife. People who fake cancer, they deserve whatever they got coming to them. Random call. Shut. Anyways, the thing my grandpa died of later was not going to dialysis. After a while, he was having kidney problems. After he'd gotten rid of his cancer, he was going on dialysis. I mean, they weren't gonna get rid of it entirely, obviously, but he went on dialysis for a while. And by the end of it, like, we didn't really see him much, seeing as, like, I live in New York, he lives in Michigan, but from what I've heard, around the end of his life, he started kind of turning into a jackass. He did not like who he was becoming. He did not like it at all. And then he decided, and then, like, the straw that broke the camel's back was when the hospital staff, like, wheeled him out to the front and did not call Grandma to come and get him. They left him out there to rot away until he realized that, like, from a worker that she wasn't called. And then when she was called, he was like, fuck this, I'm not going back to dialysis. I don't want to be treated this way. I don't like who I'm becoming anyways. I'm gonna die my way, not theirs. Because I believe the things that were going through his brain in his last moments were, I would rather die now and be remembered as a loving family man than die later in more pain and suffering and have to deal with this and be known as a giant dick. Honestly, I can see where he's coming from with that. Grandma, of course, died like I think like a year or two later. 2 years, I think it was. Yeah, 2 years later, she died. She was just sitting with my aunt, talking, having tea or whatever, and then all of a sudden she just collapsed due to a blood clot directly in her heart. She died in the hospital within the hour. Which really goes to show how precious life is. Like, you can just be sitting there, absolutely nothing wrong with you whatsoever, and then all of a sudden, bam, lethal, you're dead. When I first realized that's how Grandma died, it made me realize that you gotta focus on who you are. You want to be remembered as like the person that everyone loves. You want to be remembered as like the person who's lovable, who, like, you don't want to spend your last moments of life in spite. So, like, I mean, if I ever have to end up going on dialysis for whatever reason, which I do not see happening in my future, but if that happens, I think I'll take the route Grandpa did and just like let it take over me. But I don't see that happening at all. Anyways, that's pretty much where this video is going. And as I close out on this video, don't forget there are people that care for you. Don't forget to not fake any illness or anything, because it takes away from those that actually do have that illness. Stay safe, guys, and don't be assholes.